Hello, I am in California working with a client that has been diagnosed with cancer. His name is Darrell, and Darrell, thank you so much for being willing to share with the public some of the process of what you've gone through. This has been an intense thing for him to work through, and he has agreed to allow me to share with you publicly, not only as a teaching tool to show you how this works, what it is that I do with clients, but also what it was like for him from his own voice. And so, Darrell, thank you so much for allowing us to do this for other people, because your healings can be their healing. So I just want to thank you for participating.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Okay, so Darrell found out about me by Alyssa Medhouse and channeling Eric, and he hired me to come in January, and then I came in March, and now I'm back again in August. So one of the specific things, we're not going to get into everything about his life or all of the work that we have done, but there's one thing specifically that I asked him this morning if he would be willing to share with you about the process that I was teaching him before I came for this last event. I'm here with him for 5 days. He is at the level that he understands and trusts me when I say you need 2 days or you need 3 days or you need 5 days. He trusts me and he goes with that. So in the process of the first day, well, really before I came, Darrell, I gave you a new concept because I knew that your body was racked with pain. And I knew that it was pain that was intolerable. Some people who get cancer don't have pain at all, and some are in intense pain. You have been in intense pain. Specifically, where in the body?
My left leg and knee.
Yeah. And that's where they're saying the bone cancer is?
They're saying it's in the left hip, which I also have pain there, but most of the time it's in the left knee.
Okay. All right, so I taught you a concept by phone before I arrived, just wanting to assist you. And do you remember what it was that I said, or do you want me to share it and then you tell me your experience with that?
Why don't you share it?
Okay. So what I was teaching him is that when you are in pain, if you are resisting it, if you are fighting it, if you're not using it, if you're not going into it, surrendering to it, embracing it, thanking the body, the way that Darrell was looking at his body at that juncture was that everything was a threat. And I started teaching him that concept before I came to California this time, that he looks at everything as a threat, including his body. So the way to reverse that was for me to start teaching him how to embrace the body, how to embrace the pain, how to know that the body is actually your servant and is showing you the pain to show you that there are things in the emotional realm that are causing your body to show symptoms. I am very aware in the work that I do that every single thing that we have as symptoms has some root or some issue or predicament or experience or belief system and all of the above in the emotional realm. So if we don't use the symptoms of the body to actually be grateful for them, to go into them, to embrace them, to allow yourself to surrender to that, then we're not using it for good. So I was teaching Darrell how to embrace the pain, how to say thank you to the body for giving him that pain instead of, I'm in pain, the cancer's growing, what's going on with my body, what am I going to do? The normal fear tactics that the mind does whenever there is pain. I was teaching him to reverse this. What was that like for you, Darrell, hearing, embrace the body, embrace the pain, say thank you, move into gratitude?
Difficult. It's like how do you embrace the pain when it's giving you so much pain? But I've learned that the body is doing this to help me, to show me not only where the pain is, but what is brought up the pain, what has caused the pain. And
how hard was it to embrace that, knowing that the body is your servant, when I first told you that?
it wasn't easy at first, but now it's much easier. Because I see how it works. I see it works.
And that's what I want to get into next. So I'm going to tell the audience a little bit about what happened the first day and then the second day. So he's got this concept, guys. He understands that, he's got to start embracing the pain instead of fighting it, instead of clenching, instead of being mad at it, instead of being depressed because of it, instead of being, all of the things that Darrell's mind has been doing to him. He started looking at it from a different perspective, so I decided to tangibly show him and teach him this. The first day that I was here in California, we worked so diligently on starting to uncover some of the root causes, but we weren't that deep into it, and I knew in the afternoon that I was waiting on you, Darrell. I don't know if you realize this, but I was waiting on you to get into the flow and an alignment of us doing some healing work with you, of relieving the pain spontaneously. All day long, you were in a state of not confrontation, but certainly not ease, I would say. And do you remember when I said, okay, I've been waiting on this all day. You've gotten into alignment. Lay down in your bed, on the edge of your bed, and let me help you relieve this pain. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So when you lay down, the pain is there. It's in the knee. It's down the left leg. And I relieved it within minutes. And then you were completely without pain. When I was working on you during that time, Darrell, I wasn't really talking to you very much. I was breathing, and I was actually going into your body and talking to it. I was bypassing your mind, your thought processes, the way that it works, how you were using the pain to really self-abuse. Beat yourself up for the cancer, for not healing it yet, for not overcoming it yet. I was bypassing everything that you do as another spiritual being, as someone who's aware, as an intuitive, and going inside the body and talking to it. I didn't say aloud what I was doing because it's part of my process that I do, and unless you know these things that I would say out loud that I do, it's not useful for you. You have to know it in order to claim it, in order to change reality in somebody's body. So the first day, I just relieved the pain. The second day, we started immediately on the body and the pain because you were telling me I got a lot of pain. When we laid you down on the second day, would you like to tell people what occurred and how intense the pain got and where it was located?
Well, the pain was bad in my left knee, and it spread to my entire leg from my hip all the way down to my ankle on the left side. And it got so bad it was almost intolerable.
And the scale from 1 to 10, it was a...
It was definitely a 10 or more.
And I know that you were wanting me to relieve it like I did before, but I wasn't willing to do it, was I?
No, I wanted to get up. I wanted to quit. I wanted to say, let's stop, because the pain was just horrendous. But I hung in there.
And you trusted me, thank you.
Yes.
So then, do you remember what process I did, teaching you how to honor the body, how to be grateful, how to use it?
Yes. The main thing that I remember and practice myself is surrendering to that pain and asking for the pain, because asking for the pain to show me what it is it wants me to see. It has my attention, and I thank it. I thank it for getting my attention, and now I need it to show me what it wants to show me. And the pain goes away not immediately. but it does go away after a while. I mean, this may only be for me, but sometimes the pain, well, for me, the pain doesn't go away right away. It goes away a little bit later. But I close my eyes and I allow this information to come up from my past, things I've done, and it comes up and I see them, and then we can work on clearing them.
So what happens is that energy is stored in different areas of the body, because it was stored in the hips, because it was stored in the knee, because it's stored in the leg, and he is visible. I mean, he's feeling this. He's very aware of it. We just used it. On that day, the concentration of the worst of it was in the knee. So I put my hands around the knee as if I were embracing it, and I said and guided Darrell to say, I embrace you. I thank you. You're trying to serve me. You want me to get well. You don't know that what you're doing is painful because you're neutral. The physical body is just your servant. And so I ask, what is this energy about? And Darrell repeated all these things after me and even more, because there was more that we did that I won't get into in this. And all of a sudden, spontaneous memories of things that Darrell was feeling guilt, blame, shame about. You know, things that he should have done, things that he could have done, things that he didn't do. All of these things started popping up. There were times, Darrell, and I remember, and we're certainly not going to give the details because this is your private life, but there were times that things would come up and you would go, well, I don't have any feelings about that. And I'm like, sweetheart, your body is in pain. We're asking it to bring up the memories. And that discounting it, discrediting it, even though you may not feel something about it, the body is actually bringing up those memories in the brain, in the emotional realm for you to heal. What I saw you do, Darrell, is what every single human being does. You're being normal in fighting it. You're being normal in discrediting it. You're being normal in not wanting to deal with it and wanting to get up. The pain was so intense. But I was calm the entire time, wasn't I? And I wasn't about to let you move. I would have, you know, I've even asked you many times, do you want to stop? You want to quit? You want to transition? I'll help you do that. So every time you would say, what?
No, I want to resolve this.
So now you're starting to see that even when I am not with you, you're knowing how to do this process. Your knee has not hurt to that level of 10 since, has it?
No. And I want to say whatever she said. Because it's hard to describe it like Tammy can describe it. But I do go through all that process of embracing it and allowing it to show me. And absolutely the information within just a short period of time comes up from my unconscious, and then we can work on these things that come up.
And it's beautiful. And I will tell you at what level we're at. And yesterday I was telling you there's 2 other people that we need to deal with. And then what happened when you got back home, or even on the drive home from dropping me off at the hotel.
Yeah.
What happened? I mean, in your mind, you're thinking, oh, we cleared everything. We've done everything. We don't have any more issues. And I'm going, no, there's 2 more people we got to deal with.
Yeah, and on the way home, one of them came up, and then my knee was hurting in the evening, and I went through all this process of surrendering to the pain and asking it to show me what it is it wants to show me, and another one came up. So those were the 2 that she said would come up, and they did. And so here we are to resolve those this morning too.
I want to thank you, Darrell. I'm starting to get emotional. I want to tell you guys that in working with people like you who are brave enough, even though you may fight me, even though you may want to quit, even though it gets too hard, trusting me, knowing that I have nothing but love for you, and that it is the desire of my heart to guide you through whatever process, whatever decision you make, to respect you in every single thing that you do. But if you decide you want to get healed, if you decide you're going to stay, if you decide you have value in being here, then I'm going to help you with that. So I just want to say how brave you are, how honored I am to work with you, and what a privilege it is to watch this transformation. I'm just going to tell you as an audience really quickly, and then we are going to have to go because Darrell and I have a lot of work to do today. And I want to thank you again for allowing this portion of your story to come out, Darrell. It's quite beautiful. But I want to tell you that 2 months prior to me getting here, would you like to describe to the audience what you were doing and what your life was like before I arrived?
Well, I was diagnosed with this cancer, and the pain was really, really killing me. The pain was horrific, and all I was doing was thinking about the pain. I wasn't thinking about anything else. Dealing with it completely wrong, and angry with my body, and angry with life and everything else, and now I love my body for it's I thank my body for showing me, and it's working. It's so wonderful.
You were depressed.
Yes.
And what were you doing with your days for a couple of months before I arrived?
Well, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I had no energy. There was just no energy, so I would sleep all night and get up in the morning, and I had such little energy, I'd just go back to sleep.
Right.
I was kind of hiding from all the pain and everything that was going on.
Right. So you would try to escape by sleeping, and that's a really good sign of depression.
Yeah.
But then the first day that I worked with you, we didn't get to work very long. The second day, you were better, but we didn't get to work as long. Every day, what has happened to your body and your energy?
Oh, it's definitely improved. Much less pain, hardly any pain at all. Right now, there's no pain at all, and my energy is up, and I feel very light.
And that's because of the clearings.
Yes.
Yes. So you being willing to do this work, your life is changing and transforming in front of me. And I don't think you mind if I share, and I was telling you this for the first 2 days. Whenever we would get into a subject that was difficult for you to face, do you remember what I was describing your body looking like in front of me, how it was transforming? It was getting very pale. It looked like ash. You were yawning. You were in trouble. I could tell your body sloping. There was no color. It was looking lifeless. It was really looking like death.
Yeah, my unconscious was fighting it all the way.
Yes. And then when we would get to something that was positive, and I would do this vacillation to show you, and when I would move to something positive to do or to think about or about you, then what would occur? Do you remember what I told you your body was doing in front of me?
It was getting lighter.
And the color was coming back in your
Yes.
body. You were becoming even animated. You were becoming very expressive. There was energy. There was this, it was beautiful. And then by the end of the second day, I said, you got to take me to a beautiful place around here. Find a beautiful place. You were animated on the drive. You were sharing. You were talking. You were alive. To watch that in clients, to watch that in you specifically, has been striking for me. Watching the body responding to the emotional realm as strongly as yours has been. Darrell, thank you so much for allowing us to make this public. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the people about this journey for you and what this has been like?
Just that I thank Tammy.
Oh. Now you have me crying.
Nobody can do this that I know of like Tammy can do it.
He's got me crying. Thank you.
I would probably have committed suicide without Tammy.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I had no idea you were going to say that. You know I love you, don't you? I do now. We're both crying.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you go at that. Thank you so much for listening. And if you need healing, start to pay attention to the symptoms that your body is showing you, because your body truly is trying to be your servant. Let it be your servant. Find out what is causing these emotional pains and these physical pains in your body. You can overcome them.